Over the last 2 years, the world's largest technology companies have been pouring capital into artificial intelligence infrastructure at a scale rarely seen in enterprise software. This diagram compares standard tech infrastructure spending to the current trajectory. By 2026, the top cloud providers are projected to spend up to $700 billion on AI infrastructure alone. That level of capital expenditure trickles down to corporate budgets through subscription fees, compute charges, and software licenses. Inside these organizations, AI spending has lived in a protected bubble, often tucked away in innovation budgets, where asking for hard financial returns was viewed as a lack of strategic vision. This environment created an illusion of sustainable growth, masking the financial burden that was compounding behind the scenes. But the conversation in the boardroom is changing. Executives are no longer asking if they should adopt AI. They're asking what it has cost and what the organization has received in return. This chart shows why the shift is happening. While the flat line represents the predictable budget, this volatile line represents the reality. Many organizations are running 40 to 60% over their original AI infrastructure estimates. When asked to justify that spike, technology leaders often point to high employee usage rates. However, that is a thin financial argument. It is the equivalent of reporting that everyone in the office uses email. Treating artificial intelligence like a standard software rollout leaves finance departments without the frameworks to explain or justify these ballooning costs. Traditional software economics rely on predictable metrics: fixed storage, set user licenses, and steady compute power. AI economics operate differently. The atomic unit of AI economics is the token. Generating answers requires active computation called inference. Longer prompts immediately multiply required tokens. Hitting regenerate piles up computing requests. Happening thousands of times daily, these compounding counts cause total inference cost to double overnight. Because the cost of AI fluctuates with every prompt, traditional fixed IT budgeting fails to account for the reality of how the technology is consumed. These volatile costs do not arrive neatly on a single itemized invoice. Instead, the spending is fragmented across shared cloud accounts, buried inside individual team budgets, and obscured by platform abstractions that mask the raw compute charges. This sorting pipeline illustrates a common accounting error. Many organizations fail to separate day-to-day operational AI tools from the infrastructure investments meant to create new revenue streams. This structural fragmentation means the finance department often sees a generic cash burn where a product team sees innovation. Despite the high costs, organizations are unwilling to stop because the competitive pressure to deploy AI remains high. To manage this tension, a new governance framework is emerging. It is called FinOps for AI, and it applies the same accountability to artificial intelligence that organizations already use for cloud computing. The first priority of this framework is visibility. Before discussing returns, leaders need a consolidated view of every AI tool, platform, and usage pattern across the business. This shift is becoming urgent as boards move AI projects from innovation budgets to the general ledger, where every expense faces standard profit and loss scrutiny. The leaders who navigate this transition successfully will be those who arrive at the board table with a clear cost map and a credible framework for measuring returns. AI has transitioned from an experiment into a standard utility. The reckoning for unmonitored spending has arrived, and future adoption depends on transparent financial accountability.